MC Hammer made $33 million in 2 years. 2 years. At his peak, he had 200 employees on payroll, a private jet, 17 cars, a mansion with a gold-plated gate, a full-time staff of over 200 people who did nothing but support his lifestyle. By 1996, he was $13 million in debt. And here is the thing that will break your brain. MC Hammer is not the exception. He is the rule. 50 Cent made hundreds of millions of dollars rapping and from his stake in vitamin water alone. Filed for bankruptcy in 2015. Mike Tyson earned somewhere between $300 and $400 million in boxing. Filed for bankruptcy at 38 years old with $400,000 in debt. Nicolas Cage made $150 million as one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood. Lost almost all of it. Not to bad investments. To 2 castles, 4 yachts, 15 mansions, a dinosaur skull, and a collection of shrunken pygmy heads. Johnny Depp earned over $650 million over his career. His legal team argued he was nearly broke. His expenses reportedly included $30,000 a month on wine alone. This is not bad luck. This is not the music industry ripping people off, although that happens too. This is a specific, repeatable pattern that has destroyed the finances of some of the highest earners in human history. And understanding that pattern might be the most important money lesson you ever learn. Because the forces that broke MC Hammer are the exact same forces working on your paycheck right now, just at a smaller scale. Let's break down exactly how it happens. The first force is called lifestyle inflation, and it is the engine of almost every celebrity bankruptcy story you have ever heard. Lifestyle inflation is simple. When income goes up, spending goes up to match it, usually faster. This is not a celebrity problem, this is a human problem. When you get a raise, you upgrade your car. When you land a big contract, you upgrade your apartment. When the money keeps flowing, you start to believe the money will always keep flowing, and you build a life priced accordingly. For regular people, this means going from renting to buying a house that stretches you too thin, or financing a car payment that chews through your paycheck. For celebrities, it means building an empire of expenses that requires the income to keep flowing at maximum levels forever. And income never flows at maximum levels forever. MC Hammer's biggest mistake was not buying the mansion. It was staffing it. 200 employees, security, cooks, stylists, backup dancers, drivers, assistants. Every one of those salaries was a fixed monthly expense. Fixed expenses do not go down when the album stops selling. They keep coming, every month, whether the money is there or not. This is the trap, not the one big purchase. The recurring costs that stack up behind it. Nicolas Cage bought 14 houses, not to rent out, not as investments, to collect. He once said he bought castles in Germany and England because he wanted to feel like a vampire. He purchased a deserted island in the Bahamas. He had a habit of buying things because they spoke to him emotionally, and he had enough money that the feeling of buying overrode any practical judgment. And when the tax bills came, and for Cage, the IRS came in a big way, eventually billing him for $6 million in back taxes. He could not liquidate fast enough to stop the bleeding. The castles were not liquid assets. They were illiquid liabilities with ongoing maintenance costs. He was selling a $14 million island while simultaneously owing the government money he did not have. This brings us to the second force, the difference between assets and liabilities, and why high earners get it backwards. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out. Your rental property that generates monthly income is an asset. Your second home that sits empty and requires property taxes, maintenance, and insurance is a liability. The stock portfolio that compounds is an asset. The collection of rare cars that depreciate the moment they leave the showroom floor is a liability. Celebrities do not go broke buying Ferraris. They go broke buying entire fleets of Ferraris, then maintaining them, insuring them, storing them, and then watching them sit as their income dries up and their monthly expense load does not. The celebrities who do not go broke know this distinction. Jay-Z built a business empire. Paul McCartney put his music royalties into a publishing catalog that kept paying him for decades. Dr. Dre got equity in Beats by Dre, not just a salary. The difference between the celebrities who build generational wealth and the ones who file for bankruptcy is almost always whether they were buying assets or buying lifestyle. The third force is the entourage economy. This one is subtle, and it might be the most dangerous of all. When you come from nothing and suddenly have money, the people around you are often the people who knew you before the money. Your family, your childhood friends, your neighborhood crew. These are people you love, people you feel loyalty to, people you want to help. And helping them feels good. It feels right. You pay their rent, you put them on your payroll, you cover their car payments, You loan money you know you will never see back, because asking for it back would feel wrong. Mike Tyson supported hundreds of people. He had a personal team that grew so large that he literally could not track where the money was going. His manager, Don King, allegedly stole millions from him. His inner circle was full of people who were benefiting from his inability to say no. This is the entourage trap. It is not greed that kills celebrity wealth. It is generosity without structure, generosity without limits, generosity funded by an income that eventually ends. The fourth force is the predator problem. When you are young, famous, and newly rich, you are surrounded by people who want a piece. Financial advisors who steer you toward products that pay them commissions, managers who take 20%, lawyers who bill $300 an hour for everything, accountants who miss things they should have caught, business partners who pitch investments that mostly benefit themselves. 50 Cent invested in over a dozen companies while at his peak earnings. Most of them failed. Not because he was stupid, but because he was trusting people whose interests were not aligned with his. He was a mark. Not because he was naive, but because he was surrounded by people who were very good at extracting money from people who had it. This happens at every income level. It just has higher stakes at the top. Now here's the part that matters for you, because you probably do not have $300 million in boxing earnings. But the forces at work on your finances are identical, just scaled down. Lifestyle inflation happens to you every time you get a raise and spend it instead of saving it. Every time you upgrade your car instead of keeping the old one. Every time your housing costs expand to consume whatever you now earn. The entourage economy happens when you co-sign a loan for a family member, or you keep covering expenses for people in your life because saying no feels too uncomfortable. Generosity is not a flaw. Generosity without a plan is. The asset versus liability problem shows up when you finance a new vehicle the moment the old one is paid off, or when you keep money in a savings account earning 1% while inflation eats it alive. Every dollar sitting idle is a dollar not working. And the predator problem, that exists at every income level too. Credit card companies, payday lenders, car dealerships with 0% financing, buried in a 3-year loan. Anyone who makes money when you spend and does not make money when you save is not on your team. So what do the people who actually keep their money do? They build margin. Margin is the gap between what you earn and what you spend. Every wealthy person who stays wealthy has margin. They do not live at the edge of their income. They live well inside it, and they use the gap to build. They invest in assets that generate income, not cars, not clothes, not collections, businesses, real estate that rents, index funds, revenue-generating ownership, things that keep paying them even when they are not actively working. They say no to lifestyle creep on purpose. This is not natural. Your brain is wired to keep expanding your standard of living whenever the resources are there. Staying disciplined against your own instincts requires a specific decision, made consciously, over and over again. They protect their income with structure. LLCs, trusts, proper accounting, advisors whose fees are transparent and whose incentives are aligned with your growth. Not glamorous, but the difference between MC Hammer and Paul McCartney. And they do not fund other people's lifestyles at the expense of their own financial future. Generosity is powerful. Generosity that destroys your ability to take care of yourself is not kindness. It is a different kind of problem. The celebrities who go broke are not dumb. Most of them were brilliant at the thing that made them rich. They were world-class musicians or athletes or entertainers. They were just never taught the second skill, the one that keeps the money once you have it. You are watching this video right now because you are learning that second skill. You are learning the patterns before they get the chance to work on you. You are learning why the lifestyle that looks like winning on television is actually the path to broke, and what the alternative looks like. The next time you see a celebrity story about bankruptcy, do not file it under bad luck or karma or the music industry being corrupt. File it under lifestyle inflation, plus no assets, plus an entourage, plus misaligned advisors. Because that is the formula. And that formula will work on anyone who does not see it coming. See it coming. If this hit different, hit like and subscribe. Fuel Your Wealth posts every week on what actually builds wealth. Not the stuff they show you on TV, but the real mechanics underneath. This is not financial advice. Always do your own research.